Jesus said, "Man cannot live on bread alone, but from every word that proceeds from the mouth of God." You're listening to Daily Truth.
Our president, one of the reasons he was elected is because he was heralded as the empathetic president. That's not a coincidence. Think about that, right? It was like, well, we've got this guy who achieved peace in the Middle East and produced one of the best economies that we've ever had, but he has a mean Twitter account. And can we really stand for that? Right? And so this other guy, he's going to make sure that babies are murdered, and the ones that make it past birth don't have formula, and so they starve. But he's going to give $40 billion to Ukraine, right? America last. He's also going to make sure that we have illegal immigrants and that they get paid for entering the country. He's also going to make sure that 13 service members die in Afghanistan and all of our American allies are left behind. He's going to make sure that Russia does something that it never did, and that's not a coincidence, for 4 years during but he's empathetic. And America said, okay. We need the Word of God. We need the Word of God. We need to stop being stupid. We need to stop being stupid. And here's the deal. Evangelical Christians, and some of them might be regenerate and in sin, truly Christians, but in sin. But then some of them, I put it in quotation marks, professing Christians, because some of them are actually not Christian. They're not born again. But evangelicals, whether in reality with sin or just in name only, voted for Biden. Because they bought into this lie of that the most important thing in the world is tone. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Well, no, what you say is pretty important. And what you do is pretty important. The most important thing in the world is not how you say something. It's what you say. Is what you're saying true? Now, the Bible has a lot to say about our tone, about the how. But biblically, in terms of an order of priority, the first priority is not how, but what. What? There are times that Jesus says the what being something true, but in terms of the how, he says it with a sharp, serrated edge. He says it with a polemical language, not political, but polemical language. Right? Things like your whitewashed tombs, or your sons of the devil, or your brood of vipers. Right? These are strong statements. Jesus said these things, and Jesus never sinned. These were not sinful things for Jesus to say. They were righteous things, because what he was saying, first and foremost, was true, and it was a particular moment where how he said things, it was a moment that called for sharp language. I mean, Elijah taunts the prophets of Baal when there's the showdown at Mount Carmel, which God can produce fire from heaven to burn up the sacrifice, and Elijah begins to make fun of them. He said, maybe your God, is on a trip, or maybe your God's on the toilet. Maybe he just can't hear you. Elijah is not, he's not nice. Did you know that niceness is not a biblical term? It's not a fruit of the Spirit. So empathy is not biblical, and niceness is not biblical. Sympathy is biblical, root word being compassion, and kindness is biblical. But kindness and niceness are not the same thing. And sympathy and empathy are not the same thing.
Wait. Real quick, before you go, do me a favor. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the bell so you'll be notified with all our new content as it comes out on a daily basis. And if you're willing to support this ministry, you can do so by going to rightresponseministries.com/donate. Thanks so much. God bless.